This is KGW News at Sunrise.
First on Sunrise, the leaked Supreme Court decision that could overturn abortion rights in this country.
This is very, very serious. It is an unprecedented breach of the court's confidentiality.
And get ready, nationwide protests are planned at federal courthouses tonight at 5 p.m. And yes, that includes Portland. Everything we know about the leaked draft decision to overturn Roe versus Wade.
Also this morning, we're hearing from people who live at the Dignity Village homeless community in Northeast Portland. They say construction companies are illegally dumping trash at the site, and representatives from Metro say this problem is happening all over the city.
Plus, our Mother's Day salute includes a famous face this morning. Coming up, insight from journalist Soledad O'Brien on juggling kids and a career.
I've always really liked being a working mom as a model for my kids, and being a mom who's very involved in charity in some capacity.
Soledad has 4 children, and I ask her about the most important lesson she's taught them. I'll have her answer coming up at 5:25.
Well, good morning to you on this Tuesday. Very busy news morning, but one person who can just sit back in the old lazy boy and take it easy.
I don't ring my bell very often.
Today.
I've been working my key straw for about 6 weeks now. By golly, today
is off.
I'm not going to do a doggone thing.
Because why?
We're dry.
Yay!
Dry. Here are the temperatures out there. We're in the 40s to start your day. We are cloudy for the most part with light west winds. Salem, good morning. 48 is your number. To the bus stop we go. Oh, pardon me. I've had a cough this morning. 46 out the door, 54 at noon, partly cloudy, and 64 when the kids get out of school. That's your forecast.
Thanks, Rod.
I know.
Protests overnight in Washington, D.C. already in reaction to the potential end of the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade decision giving women the right to an abortion. So just last night, Politico released what it says is a leaked draft opinion from the Supreme Court that suggests at least 5 justices are siding with Mississippi in its case, challenging the abortion ruling. But the legitimacy has not been confirmed yet.
So Washington Governor Jay Inslee and Oregon Governor Kate Brown both tweeted reactions to this potential decision. We'll start with Governor Inslee. He says Washington will remain pro-choice and ensure that every person has safe and affordable access. Governor Brown, meanwhile, says all Americans should have access to abortion. Full stop, in her words. We will fight to protect abortion rights in Oregon, no matter what the Supreme Court's decision is. Again, that's from Governor Jay Inslee and Governor Kate Brown this morning. For the latest on this developing story now, we go to NBC's Bree Jackson.
The leaked draft opinion released by Politico indicates the Supreme Court is poised to overturn Roe v. Wade. The document, reportedly authored by Justice Samuel Alito, states the inescapable conclusion is that the right to abortion is not deeply rooted in the nation's history and traditions. While it is not the final word from justices, it is raising concerns.
As of today, it remains our constitutional right, but we also have to be clear that it is hanging on by a literal thread. And what this decision, this leaked draft means is that our deepest fears are coming true.
Susan B. Anthony List, an advocacy group that supports ending abortion, released a statement saying, the American people have the right to act through their elected officials to debate and enact law that protects unborn children and honor women. Overturning the landmark decision would allow states to outright ban abortions. Abortion is oppression! Protesters from both sides are gathering outside the Supreme Court.
This is something that affects me so personally and hurts so much to know that might be ripped away from me.
The unborn are human, and we've been killing them en masse to the tune of millions.
Both Democrats and Republicans criticized the leak.
This is very, very serious. It is an unprecedented breach of the court's confidentiality, and it is plainly meant to corrupt the process within the court.
A spokesperson says the court has no comment. In Washington, Bree Jackson for NBC News.
So as we mentioned, nationwide protests are planned tonight at 5 p.m. asking people to head to their nearest federal courthouse, and that includes Portland. The downtown courthouse, of course, the site of dozens of nights of violent and destructive riots in 2020. This is the flyer the Women's March is circulating, asking people to pledge to rally and protect abortion rights. The march is set to happen at 5 o'clock. We'll cover anything that unfolds here on KGW with updates coming online at our website.
Other headlines we're following this morning include an update on the hiker stranded in the gorge. It took more than 3 hours to get the man down safely from Munra Point near Bonneville Dam. The 51-year-old was stuck at the top of a steep, rocky cliff 2,000 feet up. He was also in the early stages of hypothermia and had lost his hiking boots. Police have identified the driver who died in a crash Saturday in North Portland's Kenton neighborhood. Officers say 21-year-old Andrew Bachman was driving fast and reckless near Columbia Boulevard and Peninsular Avenue when he hit another vehicle head-on. Bachman was pronounced dead at the scene. A family of 5 was in the other vehicle. All of them have been released from the hospital. And the murder trial for Nancy Crampton Brophy is set to resume this morning. It was postponed all last week and yesterday after somebody involved in the trial tested positive for COVID. Crampton Brophy is the local romance novelist accused of shooting her husband Daniel in June of 2018 at the Oregon Culinary Institute, where he was an instructor. The prosecution rested its case a couple of weeks ago. Those are some of your Tuesday morning headlines.
We told you yesterday on Sunrise about a Southeast Portland homeless camp that's grown out of control along Southeast 157th. Well, the city of Portland finally got back to us about concerns from people living next door at the Tall Firs RV Park. The city says the camp does pose a health and safety threat, and it's now on their agenda to sweep and remove the camp, although it's not clear still when that will happen or where those campers will go. People, meanwhile, living at the Dignity Village homeless camp in Northeast Portland say local construction companies are illegally dumping at their site. As KGW's Blair Best found out, it's not the only area in the city that's dealing with this problem.
It's ugly, and I hate it. I hate driving by all the mess.
RVs line this strip of Northeast 33rd Drive. Nestled across the street is Dignity Village, a self-governed homeless community that's been here for 2 decades.
Everybody likes to have a nice, clean neighborhood, and to have the garbage out here, it just doesn't feel good.
Lisa Larson lives at Dignity Village. She says the illegal trash dumping got worse during the pandemic.
It's like a whole truck full of household garbage has been dumped out here, and then the wild animals get into it and spread it everywhere.
Those at the village, like Frank Forbes, spend hours cleaning it up.
Well, it's terrible, but, somebody's got to do it.
Anytime you see a bunch of tires or a couple mattresses or sofas on the side of the road, somebody made the choice to leave that on the side of the road instead of take it to a dump station, a transfer station.
Metro cleans up the trash around the village once a month, but this isn't the only place where illegal trash dumps are happening.
We're trying to do our best to keep up with that around the region.
This map shows their progress, each dot representing an area they're working to clean.
We're picking up 3.5 tons of garbage every day on average. This is one of the sites where we are picking up a lot of garbage.
It's frustrating. And we see a lot of it, and it does. And you kind of put a dent in it, then you drive by it, and a couple of days later, and gets just as bad. It's a revolving process.
Now, Dignity Village is organizing a sting operation to catch whoever is dumping trash in their backyard.
I think it's a great thing. Anything to stop the excess garbage being dropped out here.
That was Blair Best reporting for us. Now on to the wildfires, because despite record rainfall in April and all that snowpack up in the Cascades, officials say the outlook for wildfire season just isn't great. The Northwest Interagency Coordination Center just released its predictions for this summer. It's expecting a high-risk season. The west side of Oregon will be at normal risk, but it's going to be above normal all summer long for central Oregon. And what's really concerning is how hot the entire country is expected to get.
I've been doing this job for going into 38 years now, and I can't recall ever having seen such an ominous signal displayed over such a large swath of the continental United States.
John Saltenberger says wildfire season typically starts in July, but that can change depending on when temperatures heat up.
All right, Rod Hill rejoining us now inside. And you have, whenever Rod does this, I want to say, before Brenda's done speaking, this means he has a point to make.
And of course, we did the story several days back that they were projecting here locally. Our fire season would start in June, which is actually better than we've had the last couple seasons when it's been in May. And since we have a quiet weather day, let me take you through a couple more maps just to kind of build on that. You know, we're coming off of back-to-back La Nina seasons, which is more good news than bad news in terms of total precip. How much water is a snowpack holding? 0 drought conditions in the Willamette Valley, 0 drought conditions around Mount Hood, 153% of normal water being stored at that time. Even the upper Deschutes, which includes down into the Bend area, 99% of normal snowpack moisture. That's the best, the healthiest that has looked in a long time. But down here, southern Oregon, Lake County, Goose Lake, these are all the water basins, Malheur, Harney. It still was not a great water year with no more than 60% on average of total precipitation. This map's kind of harder to see. It's a bunch of jumbled colors. This represents total precip, including rainfall. And again, though, it shows that south central down to the Klamath Basin and then cutting up towards parts of eastern Oregon is where the real problems are. But there are a handful of areas of our state that in terms of how much water they've gotten in the last couple of years from snow and rain are much improved. I think one thing that a person was talking about in the story is the fact that the back half of this summer, the outlooks are really calling for hot weather again, and that's just going to put incredible stress on the potential for wildfire seasons. We have a storm system right now holding out to sea. We have a dry day coming today. There are some showers currently along the Cascades, but those will be ending this morning. Portland, afternoon sun coming 64 tomorrow, 73. This is another inch of water over a 2-day period on Thursday, Friday, scattered stuff Saturday, a few showers on Sunday. I know it's Mother's Day, but it doesn't look that bad overall. We're hoping for some nice weather on Sunday. That's my weather plea for nice weather.
Just treat us moms well.
Yes.
We're happy, whatever the weather, right? Do something for us, Rod. Thank you.